Hey guys, Alex here, and I am back with this FM investigation on youth players in the Premier League, and it's in the season. So as you can see, Chelsea won the Premier League by a good 12 points actually over Man City. Um, then Man U, top three, nothing really different there. Then comes Tottenham above Arsenal. Then you got some of the stranger teams, Aston Villa in sixth, who've got quite a good youth system, like young players at least. Then Southampton, who've got good young players. West Brom, Fulham, Newcastle, Everton, and Liverpool quite low. Liverpool definitely very low, so they didn't do so well. Sunderland, Swansea, Cardiff, Palace, West Ham, and then relegated was Norwich, Hull, and Stoke. So if we look at the player stats for this sort of season. Average rating, Van Aanholt for Chelsea got 7.72, which is pretty good. Mark Muniesa for Stoke, Adam Smith for Tottenham, Aaron Martin for Southampton, and John Stones for Everton. Top goal scorer was Nathan Delfonso for Aston Villa. Then John Guidetti, Velios, Naby, and John Barry. Assists, Tom Carroll for Tottenham. He looks quite good actually. Looking at him. George Thorne for West Brom, Reece Wabara, Gary Gardner, and Luke Shaw for Southampton. I did keep him in because I want to see him develop and whatnot. But yeah, so if we go to the awards as well, Golden Glove went to Courtois. I wanted to see him play as well. He is actually on 23 and is playing in the first team. Then Jed Steer to Aston Villa and Lawrence Figaro for Tottenham. Then Footballer of the Year went to Patrick Van Aanholt, who turned 23 this year. So that's a bit strange. Robin Van Persie, Gareth Bale, Patrick Van Aanholt. Manager of the Year went to Mourinho. Then Steve Clarke at West Brom, and then Paul Lambert at Aston Villa. Player of the Year went to George Thorne from West Brom. 31 appearances, 2 goals, 14 assists. A great average rating there. Players Team of the Year. You got Courtois in goal. Nathaniel Klein right back. John Stones centre back with Jore Zakore. Van Aanholt left back. Todd Kane for Chelsea. Right mid, along with George Thorne and Suso in the middle. John Williams on the left. Defonso up front with the Velios, and then on the bench you got Ben Amos, Chalobah, Thomas Carroll, Tom Kearney, Joel Campbell, Adam Smith, and Jordan Barry. Then young player went to Suso from Liverpool. Then John Williams from Palace, and then Nathaniel Klein from Southampton. Young Player of the Month, there's quite a few there. But yeah, that is the Premier League. It's the first few teams are sort of usual, but it's going to be like as time goes on, how like the youth systems develop, see if there's any change in sort of the league and whatnot. If we look at the Championship coming up, Blackburn finished top along with Derby, and then Wigan get promoted through the playoffs. So, but you can see Yeovil, Ipswich, and Huddersfield in the playoffs there, which is some odd teams. And then if you look at the relegated teams, Burnley, Barnsley, and Blackpool are all relegated, who are quite well. Barnsley maybe not, but Burnley and Blackpool definitely have some good sides there. Mason Bennett, 25 goals for Derby there, doing really well. Dicko got 18. Joe Pigott got 17 for Charlton. Frank Nouble got 16 for Ipswich. Reece McKay with the best average rating. And then Fraser 5 for 17 goals for 17 assists. I mean, if we look at League One, it was Brentford and Wolves who just destroyed League One. I can't believe how many goals. Look, there's the points: 107, 105. That's the first time I've seen two clubs with over 100 points. Then Bristol City, Crewe, Sheffield United, and Stevenage missed off on that promotion spot as Bristol go up. Then relegated Rotherham, Bradford, Preston, and Port Vale. Coventry did really well, seeing as they had 10 points deducted. They would have been up here if they hadn't had that. League 2, Accrington, Rochdale, and Chesterfield get promoted, while Cheltenham and Newport County go down. Squirrel Premier, Cambridge and Barnet go up, while Dartford, Gateshead, Southport, and Welling get relegated. And then Squirrel North, Workington, Stockport get promoted. Altrincham, Barrow. Oh, excuse me. Sneeze. Barrow and Leamington get relegated. Squirrel South, Bromley, and Boreham Wood get promoted. Gosport, Dorchester, and Basingstoke get relegated. So those are the major competitions. if I show you, go through the under-18s comments, the Capital One Cup, the Community Shield actually, Man U won that. Oh yeah, I showed you. Capital One Cup. I want to show you something. Wolves won it 3-2 in extra time versus Brentford. The two teams that went up from League One have won Capital One Cup, which is just crazy. If you look at the semi-final as well, the final they won 3-2. Semi-final, Wolves beat Blackburn and Brentford beat Bristol. So it's a Championship side and three League One sides in the semi-final. The quarter-final, Bristol beat Newcastle, Wolves beat Aston Villa, Blackburn beat Fulham, and Brentford beat Everton. And then if you go further back, you've got Newcastle beat Man City, Fulham beat Man U, York from League Two were up there for a while until Blackburn got them out. And then if you go back further, Chelsea and Arsenal are both knocked out by lower Premier League clubs. It's just a bit crazy, like how they got to there. Like the final was Wolves versus Brentford, and then Jake Cassidy actually got the win, who was the top scorer. He got 8 goals in the competition. Look at that. He did very well for Wolves. 33 goals and 44 appearances. But yeah, then we go on to the FA Cup. Man City beat Chelsea in the final 3-0. Semi-final. Wolves got far again. They've got a very good team going on. But yeah, Wolves beat Liverpool as well. It kind of shows like with the youth systems, some youth teams are better than others. But yeah, so if we actually go into Europe, in the end stages from last year's, in the end, Real Madrid beat Bayern in the final. To find an English team, we had to go back to the quarterfinals where Chelsea lost out to Schalke. To find the next English team, we got Man U going out to Lyon. And then the last English team was Man City, so they went into Europa. So if we go to the Europa League, and the final, Zenit beat Fiorentina in the final. To find the English team, Man City went out to Fiorentina. Then Arsenal and Tottenham both went out in the second knockout round to PSV and Sevilla. And I think that's it for that. But yeah, so if we go to actually the Premier League, it has taken a hit in competition rating. So that's obviously going to happen. So they've dropped down to third already because of not the best players. But if we actually look at the players now, so we look at Chelsea's team, the team that won it. The most valuable players, Courtois, at 22.5 million, and then Chalobah at 12.75. These players were worth maybe a few million. Now they've moved up. If you look at Chalobah's stats, look at that. Look at the mentals and physicals. He was a good player to start with, but now he's got a lot better. If we find a player that I looked at before, John Williams, he's gone to 6.25 million. He's got really good stats. It kind of shows how well just playing like in the Premier League does for young players. But definitely, yeah. I'm surprised Man City did as well as they did. Like their youth system's good, but not as good as other teams. But yeah. So I'm just taking you through. Zaha's still there because he doesn't get played. These are the teams really. I'll just go through them if you want to like stop and pause at anything. But yeah, look at that. Look at Southampton's squad. They got Ward Prowse, Luke Shaw, Klein, all there. But yeah, it's going to be strange to see who's he wanted by. He is wanted by Real Betis. Going to be strange looking at where these players go because they can't transfer within England, but other teams from other countries can get them. So it'll be a bit strange to see if they can actually get them. If we actually look at the England squad, though, we got Wayne Rooney playing in Monaco. Chalobah has been called up, along with Zaha, Thomas Carroll, Klein, Shaw, Ward-Prowse, John Stones, Redmond, Will Hughes, Rob Hall from Bolton, Andre Wisdom, Forster from Celtic, the Oxes at Celtic, Danny Rose at Celtic, Craig Dawson, Carl Walker, and Jermaine Defoe all at Celtic, Lampard at Valencia, Jack Butland at Stoke, Eric Dier at Sporting, and Danny Welbeck without a club. That's the England squad, which is very changed. Got a lot of players going to Celtic, which is a bit weird. So I just want to see if how badly Celtic won the league. Um, look at their team. That's a bit weird. Um, yeah, they destroyed their league. But yeah, the England team's really changing now because of all these young players coming through. So the under 21's got lots of players from big clubs now, and they've getting first team football as well, which kind of shows what they're doing for that. So next time, I think I'm just going to do a whole year update and come back at the end of the year, because then we're going to be seeing the regens coming through, seeing if how good they are. So if we look at the under 18 squad, um, who would be a good one to look at? Okay, just look at this random right, Will Kennett. See how they do. See if they get put into the first team at all. Whether they'll be given a more chance or they'll just be loaned out again. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's been Alex, and I'll see you guys later.